Hello, YouTube. I hope you're having a wagtastic day out there. This is Universe Bear with another Total War battle replay. Can't remember my opponent's name, but we'll see it at the end. Anyway, he's brought the Lizardmen against my Greenskins. Lizardmen is probably right now the hardest matchup I find for Greenskins. It's the only one where I don't tend to win most of my matches in quick play anyway. I find it very difficult to deal with all the tools they can bring. They can bring really good front infantry. They can bring pretty decent skirmishers. They can bring, of course, a bunch of monsters, which is always hard to deal with. With Greenskins, they can use arcane and forging to get rid of the wog. It's just really hard to deal with everything that they bring with the tools that the Greenskins have. So I think it's a pretty hard matchup. And I've been trying a few different builds to see how I can counter the Lizardmen. This is one that I was trying out here. So I guess we can go through it. The front line is Orc Biggins. I found through testing that Orc Biggins with the Bonewood Staff procs can actually beat Saurus Warriors, and then they also have some anti-large. So at least they can deal some damage to all the single entity monsters that the Lizardmen tend to bring. So that's the idea there. In the back, I have just some archers. I guess I could also try out some Orc Arrow Boys that might have a bit more AP, but there are more Goblin Archers per regiment with the Goblin Archers, and they do shoot more accurately, so it's kind of a toss-up, I find. For AP, I tried the Doomdiver Catapults, because they have been buffed recently, and they do have... How much AP do they have? 170 AP, which is pretty good. So they're pretty accurate. You know, they're self-guided. You can see they're crashing into Tihiwan over here. Doing some pretty decent damage, I guess. It was definitely the first time I tested it out. I have some Forest Goblin Spider Riders around back here in case he does bring infantry and skirmishers. I want to be able to get at him and chase anything routing away so that it doesn't come back. So I figured at least 2 units of Goblin Spider Riders would do the trick there. I did bring Wurzag for the buffs to work in conjunction with the Biggins in case he brought Saurus Warriors. Also, you guys at this point probably know that Wurzag's my top pick for sure as Greenskin General. I got some Goblin Big Bosses here. If any Carnosaurs or anything tries to get at Wurzag, these guys will kind of play defense duty. Got some nasty skulkers back here in case he has any cavalry of his own, or if these monsters try to rush in here. And I did bring the Mangy Marauders for their AP. Just really trying to take down these single entity monsters. It's just they give me so much trouble because Greenskins don't really have any dedicated anti-large armor-piercing units, which I hope is something they change pretty soon. It made sense in the first Warhammer. But now, you know, monsters become so prevalent. It's just I don't think it's really fair anymore with no tools of that variety. Anyway, my opponent he brought a bunch of skinks, cheap front line because he brought a ton of monsters. So let's get through them. Revivification Crystal over here. He's got Tihiwan. He's got an Ancient Stegagon, the Thunderous one, which is the new Roar, Ancient Stegagon. Man, those names are hard to say. And then he has got another one of these Revivification Crystals. In the back, he does have some elite units here, some elite infantry, the Temple Guard. Keeping him in the back, so I guess he can bring them in to support wherever he needs to. So a bunch of monsters for me to deal with, and then some chaff to kind of help distract things. So let's get this thing underway. So you can see the Doom Divers have actually been doing a fair amount of damage. We haven't even gotten into combat yet. And Tihiwan is hurt. And that's the name of the game here. I just want to get rid of this general as fast as I can. So I'm really going to focus him down hard. But you can see they're just breaking right through the Savage Orc Biggins. But the Savage Orc Biggins, on the other hand, are just wiping out these skinks. That wasn't even a competition. I am going to bring the nasty skulkers forward. I want to protect against any monsters coming in from my backline. And I'm going to start using the Forest Goblin Spider Riders to kind of clean up the skinks. Make sure they don't come back. I did try to move out of the way of this thing, but it still hit me pretty bad. But at least I still have the armor sundering effect because they're still alive. And they are starting to get into my nasty skulkers now, and they are starting to get into my archers. So that's going to be a problem for me. I really need this back line to stay safe, to be able to keep dealing damage to the monsters here. So again, I'm running these Night Golem archers back, but I guess their flag bearer is way over there. And now he's getting on Wurzag, so I'm going to use the, what's that thing called? Effigy of the Git, pin him in place, and just kind of run away. As I do, these guys have cleaned up the front line so fast, I don't even think I noticed it, but I am going to start moving them in to deal with the monsters here. Backline is getting pretty compromised, though. You can see these Doom Diver catapults are pretty much down. They're not going to be able to shoot for now. They're going to have to run away, and he's really getting into my back line. There's my nasty skulkers with the terror and the fear. We're just no match to stop these guys for very long. So I'm bringing in the Orc Vegans. I really need them to get on all these large targets. You can see we've done quite a bit of damage to Henowan, that guy, and the Bastiladon here. Which is the same as that guy. So we're going to keep trying to do damage to those large targets. That's really how we're going to win this one. So I'm going to have to keep skirmishing back my back line. I figure at least if I can get this guy down, then they're going to suffer some morale penalties, and it'll be harder to route other stuff. But it's going to be a challenge. He has 2 Revivification Crystals, and they're going to be able to provide a lot of healing. You can already see his cap is coming out there. He tried to get this for our Manticore on Wurzag, so I brought in the Savage Orc Biguns to support, and they're going to do all right there. For the time being, you can see all the stuff that comes back, trying to bring it back to provide some damage. Nasty Skulkers, just trying to get them on these monsters to smoke bomb them so they can't run amok in my backfield. Thinking back on this, the skinks aren't worth too much, so I probably should have just let them go and brought the spiders back here just to use their mass to muck up those big entity targets. I think that really helped me out. But as it is, there's a little bit of a cluster F going on in here. Henowan is so close. Just come on, man. Just keel over already. But no, he's getting some heals. You know, he just doesn't want to go into the Dark Knight. And you can see the Temple Guard now. They're going to put up a fair fight. Savage Orc Biguns do hit quite hard, but the Temple Guard have pretty good armor, and they hit pretty hard and have high melee defense. So that's going to be a little tricky. He is bringing in Henowan against Wurzag. He's going to be running for his life. Got another Effigy of the Git, but he's got his friend here in backup, and he does just clip him. So he's going to be running. That's not going to be good for me. Still cleaning up his infantry with my Force Goblin Spider Riders. Main Grubs, Mage Marauders really need to target the large targets, but I think I was just trying to save Wurzag at this point. He does come back, and I'm getting my archers back. I'm going to try to get these Doom Divers back on their Doom Divers, but, well, you know, that's not going to happen, I guess. I'm just keeping them in the reserve for now. Big guns are starting to get worn down quite a bit. And that fear and terror is really going to start to affect their ability to stay in the fight. Still, with all my archers, I'm just trying to kill this guy. You know, it's hard. The archers are okay. They don't have great AP, and Orc Arrow Boys have better AP, but they have really bad aim and less models. So he just doesn't want to die. He's got too many regens coming from these things, so maybe I should have went for them first. And I almost got one of them, so I probably could have focused him down and then the other one, but then, I mean, you still have 3 Ancient Stegagons here. It's a brutal fight for the Greenskins, I find. At this point, I've decided that, you know, Doom Diver catapults, they're not getting back on their catapults, so I'm just going to bring them in, try to do what damage I can. Get my leadership in there just so they can stay and fight for a little longer, but I don't think we're going to last too much longer here. I've lost all my arrows except for these guys who are coming back. And of course, you know who they're going to try to go after is Henowan. Wurzag's down. Army losses are going to hit, and that's going to be game for sure. So it's a good game from my opponent, whose name was Adek? ADEC, so he definitely brought a pretty mean list against the Greenskins. Sometimes guys will bring just single entity armies and they won't have any infantry, which I find is pretty gimmicky and annoying. So he brought a lot of monsters, but at least he brought some kind of front line. And, you know, he played quite well. I think Where my mistakes were not having the Spider Riders in reserve to really act as a mass block against these single entity targets. I think in the future, the Doom Divers were doing a fair amount of damage when they were firing, but they're shut down way too fast. So if I had Spider Riders or maybe some Trolls or something in the back line that could really stop these guys from getting through there, because that's the problem with the back line, is they can just waltz right through my front line, no problem. So I think next time, if I try this build again, I'm going to try that, and it might be a little bit more effective. We're still pretty close. We did quite a bit of damage to his large targets. And we cleared out his front line, but he was able to take the day with the fear and terror and just the amount of armor and HP and regen that I had to try to chunk through. So A-Deck, definitely a very good game from you. Hope we run to the ladder again, and we can have ourselves a little bit of a rematch. All right, take care, guys.